They're just kids.
No, they were kids. Shaw has his army. We need ours.
We'll have to train.
We can't stay here. We've got nowhere to go.
Yes, we do.
This is yours.
No, it's ours.
Come on, time for the tour.
You know, when I do this, bad things tend to happen.
It's because you can't control it. It controls you. That's why we're here, Alex. That's why we're training. This, it's like any other muscle in the body. You can control it. Try higher frequency, much higher. It's all right, Alex. I want you to hit the X and try not to hit me. There's a good chap.
You're serious?
I'm very serious. I have complete and utter faith in you.
You're watching The Film Fix. I'm Jeff Marker, here with Jonathan W. Hickman. And we were able to catch two movies this week. Jonathan's going to talk a little bit about Submarine, sort of low-key British movie, right?
Yeah, you know, and it's directed and written by the guy who plays Moss on the It Crowd. And it seems like we're talking a lot about the It Crowd because one of the guys from Bridesmaids, one of the stars in the movie Bridesmaids, Chris O'Dowd, was also in the It Crowd. So we're getting a lot of the Brit actors over here. Yeah.
So then we're gonna talk about a very just the complete opposite of low key. We're going to talk about the new X-Men First Class, the new Fox release. So first of all, why don't you tell us a little about Submarine?
I'll talk about Submarine. I can talk a lot about that movie. Submarine is the quintessential coming-of-age film. It's directed by Richard Ayoade, and it made somewhat of a splash at Sundance and then was picked up and is given a release somewhat limited, but I think that it will catch on, certainly on DVD. It reminds me a little bit of the movie Son of Rambo, except it's a little older set. That, of course, was a British movie as well that dealt with what happens when a young person matures during the 80s. Of course, this one also, Submarine, is set in the 80s. And one of the markers of that is the Crocodile Dundee film. There's a reference that sort of sets it for that. It's a movie that deals with a 15-year-old who, for the first time, gets a girlfriend and realizes that his parents are having problems in their relationship. And as his relationship with this young girl matures and he explores the sexual side of his youth, he realizes that his parents are suffering from their own problems in the bedroom. It's a mature film. Submarine is sublime. I really liked it, and I'm definitely going to give it a fixed rating. It'll be playing in limited release, probably in Atlanta, but it might also come to a theater near you.
Well, you already gave it a fix. It sounds like you were very, very impressed. In fact, you were sort of rooting for Submarine.
I was taken with it. I guess Film Fix viewers will remember that I ran the trailer a few weeks ago, and you know, my wife, of course, is from England, so I sort of have a soft spot for this. And having watched, I think, every season except maybe the latest one of the It Crowd, I also have a soft spot for the guy who wrote and directed it, who does not appear in the movie, although he is just absolutely charming on the It Crowd. He has this amazing hair, and I saw pictures from like Sundance or one of the film festivals, and he still has this amazing hair that his character Moss on the It Crowd has. But no, this is a really deep film. It's not as entertaining as it makes a good commentary on the whole coming-of-age thing, which of course is a theme in so many movies.
Sure, we've made just a few coming-of-age movies.
You know, I think ever since The Catcher in the Rye, and of course it dates back even earlier than that, but that would be the quintessential coming-of-age novel, which of course has never been made into a movie, and let's hope it never will be. But it's referenced in Submarine. At one point he gives his girlfriend King Lear, and he says, "Oh, this is much better than Macbeth. I think it's Shakespeare's best." You know, and then he gives her some Nietzsche. and he gives her a copy of Catcher in the Rye,
Yeah.
and explains that it's the quintessential modern American novel. The movie is set in the 80s, but even then it had some age on it, but still left its mark.
Take a look at the trailer. It made me think of the Who album Quadrophenia.
Yeah, really.
You know, it's set in the 80s. You know, Quadrophenia is much earlier, but you know, it seemed like this is a boy who's in love with a girl, and he's not quite sure he's cool enough to be with her. And he's also discovering that maybe being a grown-up isn't. Isn't always
right.
easy.
It's totally burst his bubble. His mother is played by Sally Hawkins. I should put before that the great Sally Hawkins, who is really, last year she was in several movies, including Maid in Dagenham, and she was just marvelous. But she plays this mother who is married to a very depressed man who at one time stole her heart. And her ex-boyfriend has moved back in, and he's played by Paddy Constantine.
The great Paddy Constantine.
And you know what's neat about it is that they give this character so much to do. He's this new age. He's into auras and everything, and he captures her imagination again because she remembers, and it sets up a real conflict for the young man who's Oliver Tate, I believe is his name in the movie, the young boy who is having his own problems with women and relationships and dealing with people in the school and all of that. It's very well done. Yeah.
All right,
I would recommend it.
Well, Paddy Constantine is one of my favorite character actors, and here's a segue for you. Let's talk about another movie that has so many great character actors in it, X-Men First Class.
Amazing. Yeah. You know, why don't you tell us the story of X-Men if you can? I know you weren't a comic book reader, but you know what'll be neat about it is if we hear the story from someone who didn't have all of the baggage that comic book fans has, because we saw this movie with a bunch of fans of the comic who just let it out. They felt like they could just say whatever came to their mind while they saw things going on the screen. They used many expletives, and it made it for an unusual viewing experience, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was very exciting.